Okay, we're recording. All right. This is the Tales of Ulran. This will be episode 11. We're into the double digits. Can't back out now. I'm Brian Kynes. I'm the DM and the creator of the Tales of Ulran that we play in. To my side is Alex Porter. She'll be playing the role of Oma. I wish I could pronounce her last name. It's like Laomi or something. I forget what your actual native last name is.
Was it
Lomatai? Yeah, something like that. Yeah, but it's super cool. I promise you. And Alex is also super generous to roll in, step in, and play different roles depending on what we're in the middle of doing. We can always count on her to roll some ones for the bad guys for us. We got it. And of course, she has her totem spirit animal with her, as always. Yep. There you go. It's good stuff. And what was the name of that again?
Niisha. Owl.
And I think it means owl in Native Americans. That's good. Okay. Below her, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Daniel McGuffey. Danny's been playing this game with me since before puberty hit him, and he's doing pretty good. He's doing pretty good. Danny will be playing the role of Dayhon tonight, which you guys know, and he'll also be playing Bastille later. Hopefully we'll get back to the crypts and finish up with that bone collector bastard that we've been dealing with. Okay, and right below me is the new member of the group, Sean. I'll give you a chance to introduce yourself there real quick, then we'll jump into this.
Well, hello everyone who's watching. My name is Sean. I live in Hawaii, and I will be coming in with a new character called Shade, and that's why both names are up there. I'm super excited to play this game. It's been a while since I actually got to play instead of just DM, so I'm good to not have to control everything. It's great. Just have to worry about one person instead of 20.
There's nothing wrong with that. You're absolutely right, buddy. That's true. All right, so with that, I'll just go over the basic stuff here. We're just going to play some light music in the background for mood. If it gets too loud, you can't hear me, you got to yell at me and tell me so, okay, guys? I've got all kinds of stuff to cover. I will start my conversation with Sade, which is the name of his actual character's pronunciation. And I'll kind of bring you guys into it from there. So, Sean, you knew and you caught word that the people and the crew of the Lai Lung, another, and you would call them a rival airship that has a certain amount of prestige that you wished was aimed a little bit more on your vessel. Or rather, I say Gleandra's vessel, the Dreadnought, a very powerful airship. One of the most powerful, most warlike, menacing-looking airships that's docked up here at Overwatch. And you know that they are competing in some tournaments in the city down below of New Gemdar, and that they have been fighting behemoths. They have came into the possession of some kind of giant staff that seems to be used by the legendary mammoth creatures of the north, actual giants. And these look like shaman's staff. It's a large artifact. And there is an upcoming war that this city is going to have to deal with, and it happens every so many years, where the giants from the north elect a new leader, a new person that's braver, stronger than the last one, and he will lead an onslaught of giants to the south to try to retake and destroy the city of New Gemdar. This battle's been going on for ever since you ever hear whispers when you were growing up in the town of, and this is where I wrote down stuff and I have to get used to this again, Arganros, Aganros, Aganros. That is the city of ravens, Aganros. ever since you were young and you heard whispers and talk when you were underneath tables and when you were jumping in and out of alleys. The city always had the war with the giants tied into the same sentence. And they're lucky in the fact that they've uncovered this artifact. And they realize that this large shaman giant staff can summon out and open up portals that summon out behemoths, which are pretty much the war dogs of the giants, these large, horned, massive creatures. Okay? And the king has put on an event where groups of 5 warriors have been able to sign up and see how well and how efficiently they can slay these hounds of war. The particular people you're looking for, which would be Dayhon, which you would recognize as a foreigner of the icy lands, not anywhere from the main continent here. A tattooed fighter monk type warrior, and a small native spirit walker, or what you would consider like a summoner, named Oma, are people that you've wanted to reach out to and talk to about something that's been on your mind for some time. You know that they're participating in these fights, but at this late hour, you know the fights are over. You've looked down off the sides of the dreadnought overnight and listened to it just creak and drift slowly in the wake of the winds. A light snow blowing down. It's cold. It's like about 25 degrees out right now. The current state that we're in now in Tales of Ulran is it's early December, if you were to put a month to it. So it's very cold outside. And you see the lights have dimmed down. You hear the drums have settled. The noise that usually fades up and rises up to Overwatch has drifted away. And so you've waited. For hours, it seems. You've heard different commotions and things break out of the city as it's having a hard time getting to sleep, as places like the Crow's Nest and things like that do up at this part of the city. But then you see them come back. You're looking over the bow of your ship, staying in the shadows and just watching some very funny things happen from across the way, as the dreadnought is only docked maybe 2 or 3 spots away from where the Lylung ship is. You see the large, boisterous, like almost what's the word? Almost like a just a mystic warrior kind of looking guy with the tan skin, the long black hair pulled up, talking to their ship captain, Aeolus, very debonair, very fine-spoken, handsome, tall, gun-wielding individual. They go inside for a while and you wait. You're used to waiting. You're very patient in this. And as you do, after a certain hour, you see some ruckus, some commotion. You hear some music being played. And then the Lylung seems to settle down as well. At this point, it was damn near, 2:30 in the morning, Danny? Is that correct? Close? Okay. And the cold doesn't bother you as much as it would some people. Shade. And you don't mind staying out here and watching.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, the lumbering larger warrior of the group, the one that they call Dayhon, the one that you respect on equal measure because he holds a position on his ship very similar to the one that you hold on yours. He walks out off of the ship of large lumbering steps with bare arms and a fur mantle made out of parts of an actual behemoth as the armor. If you've ever played the Monster Hunter video games, he looks like he has an armor made from an actual behemoth. It's really, really unique. There are hooves that go over top of the shoulders. The large, thick, iron-like hair comes down over the sides. There are teeth and different parts involved in it. It's very rustic, very tribal looking. And he takes a long look left and right. And the large Dayhon seems to walk down the docks, boards creaking underneath of his feet, and he goes up towards the edge. And you watch him for a minute, and you can't help but notice a sadness on this person. Is it sadness? You're not quite sure. The large warrior goes past the chain on the edge. You think to yourself curiously, it's like, you're not jumping, are you? That would be a foolish thing to do. What are you up to? And he sits down on the end, and you almost see a small childlike version of him. You see him sit down with his legs kicking off the edge of the dock, hundreds of feet down to the city below, just kind of looking. And he pulls out a large bottle of fancy make and sits it down beside him. You can hear the liquid inside splash up against the sides. It's so silent out here now. You begin to walk that direction, thinking maybe this is the moment you were looking for. The dreadnought seems still. You don't sense anyone out here. Okay? With that, Dayhon, your character is sitting on the edge of the docks, looking out, looking at that bottle, and wondering what version of Dayhon people are going to see tomorrow. How many nights have you sit out here and got drunk like this and played a role and tried to be that first mate, that guy that didn't have any kind of the issues that you have, that is a carefree spirit that does his thing, and although that has served you well and it's been a nice blanket of security for you, you've done some things in the last 78 hours that have been pretty decent. You've taken on a behemoth and won. You've been inside of the Soul Stone and come to grips with what happened to your sister, and you feel that impact on yourself. You feel it being the way you hoped you would feel about it. You've learned from it, and you overcame it. You also know, and you saw Oma grow as a person too, and you saw her able to defend herself and take care of herself in that fight. You've been through a lot in the last some odd hours. All right? And now I'm going to bring up something for you guys. Sean, this is your character. It's still dark out, and by this time it's about 3:30 in the morning. You've been watching him out there for a while, just thinking about what you want to say to this character. How can you explain the mistrust you're having with people on your own ship? How can you offer, or what could you offer these people if they're willing to help you bring someone to justice? You know, what would Gleandra think of this? And you've made up your mind that this needs to happen in some way. You need to take a step forward here. If someone's making her ignore the obvious, then you need to have her back somehow. And you wish to talk to people on the Lylung because when you fought beside them, you've learned that these are good, trusting people. Maybe foolish in that. They may be foolish in that. You've seen trust stab a person in the back many, many times in your short life. But just maybe there's a chance that all the boastering and talk of brotherhood and them sticking together and fighting along your ship, which no one else from where you're from would have dared done that. But they did. And they didn't ask for anything in reward. There is hope here somewhere. The snow blows down around you, and you see up ahead of you in the distance, as you would walk and look over the different series of docks and things like that, several different airships. And on the end of the furthest one, you would see Dayhon's character sitting on the very edge of the dock with his legs over the side and the bottle sitting beside him.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
I would like to. Let me look up something real quick.
Absolutely.
While you were...
It's all good for looking up things. We can breathe now. My opening description is done. It takes a minute to get there, but I like setting the stage. You know what I mean? Is that exciting to see your character's token on the damn thing for the first
yeah,
time?
it is. It is. It's super exciting.
Nice.
Yeah. I just have to look up something real quick. I just want to
You
see
do
if
it.
it costs me
Because
anything.
looking up things is part of what we do. While you're doing that, I'll give you a minute to do that. Oma, as you were laying there thinking about whatever you went through just now, every time you go to close your eyes to go to bed tonight, knowing that Dayhon is sleeping on the opposite wall of you, you can't help but see the darkness of that water that you went down in, and you feel that cold, and you know it's not real. You know that what was inside the Stole Stone is only as real as you make it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're able to fight through it. And when you take a deep breath and a sigh and relax, and knowing your body has physically been through more than it's probably ever been since the old days when you fled your homeland and your city, you earned your own tonight. You were in peril at first, and other people were in peril after that. You took on obstacles. You battled through things that the younger, weak version of yourself would have never dreamed of doing. And you have a sense of pride knowing that your brother, Omar, you know, is proud of the person you're becoming because he told you so.
Yeah.
And you have that luxury, which is really, really cool. And right as soon as you get ready to do that and you nestle your head down your pillow and you're getting ready to close your eyes because the darkness of that doesn't bug you, you hear some things creaking in the room beside you. And you hear Dayhon get up. There's no familiar signs of anything. There's no speech. He's not breathing heavy. But you roll me a perception check, Alex, please.
Okay. Sure.
Hope this is the good dice.
Well.
Oh, shit. Really? Go ahead. Tell me the news.
And the Tiamat swoops down.
8. So, Sean, just so you understand what Alex goes through here, and we need to get someone to do an exorcism on her dice. She's a wisdom cleric that has a +5 from wisdom.
Sweet.
And a proficiency bonus on it, and she just rolled and got an 8. I'm just going to say called it right now. No, that's the shit that we deal with, but we all have a good sense of humor about it, and we try to help her out. That's what healing potions are for. So, having said that, you hear him get up. You are able to discern that. You're more tired than I thought you were. And as he is leaving the room, just for theatrical purposes, there were some things I was going to have you notice, but the one thing you do certainly hear, you hear the sound of thick glass hitting the side of the wall, and you can hear liquid splash. He does have a bottle with him of some alcohol.
Okay.
And you know, typically when he does that, he is soul searching or he's fighting demons of some kind. As you lay there and you hear him lumber down the hallway, what is it that your character is doing?
I'd like to get up and go check on him.
Okay. Good deal. And you do anything you want to here. Do not worry about the story. You do what Oma would do, okay? So as you peer out, you put your head out of the main hallway that you guys room in the bells of the Lilong, and you're able to see the moonlight shut off as he shuts the doors easily. Normally, when you shut the doors going in and out of this place, people fashionably slam them because they don't give a shit about each other's feelings or anything like that. But you can see he's eased them closed. And you see a last gust of wind filled with snowflakes blow in between the two things. And you can feel the ship sway ever so gently in the air as he walks across, and you can tell he's getting ready to walk off of the ship. It's been a long day. Are you grabbing anything on your way, or are you just grabbing yourself and going out that direction? Because you'd probably throw on your robe and things like that. You're not going out in your PJs, correct?
Right, right.
Okay.
Grab my robe. Possibly grab a coat if there's snow blowing in.
You do have 2 or 3 different ones made of awesome hides, and your coats are very thick, but also give into the fact that you're a cleric. So they're fairly fantastic looking. They are very tribal and ritualistic looking, but they are elegant in the ways that a cleric would wear. Interesting stuff, and you do have several of those. Okay. Roll me a dexterity check, please.
Okay. Nine.
Okay, strikes again. So with that, you left the sleeves turned inside out the last time you hung this big damn jacket up. And you're there fighting with it, trying to get your shit together. And you reach over to grab a book and you drop another one. And you're like, ah, God. And after about 5 or 10 minutes of rustling around with this, you walk out to the end of the hallway and you realize and you look up and you do not see Dayhon anywhere immediately. Because it took you so long to get going, you know that he has a head start on you. It is about 25 degrees out. The city is silent. You know that there are dangers out there. And you just wonder why he wouldn't have wanted to lay his head down to rest after the day he has had at this point. As you look around back and forth and things like this, you catch a glimpse of something out on the end of the pier, and it is him. And he is sitting there.
Question: Does Sade see all of this as well?
You would not see.
Do I see Oma? Okay, I don't see Oma. Okay.
You're focused on Danny's character Dayhon.
Okay. I'm gonna hang back for now.
Okay.
And just observe Dayhon and just.
We're getting right to it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to give real time and set it up. So, as you see him there, Oma, you almost want to say something, but you don't, because you see the bottle sitting beside him there on that dock, and it scares you how close he is out to the edge.
Yeah.
You're used to seeing him sitting on the bow of the ship and doing this almost, what's the word I want to say? Not sadistically, but just,
precariously?
Yeah, just like he doesn't care about his own life or what's going to happen to him.
Right.
Like, what's the term? It begins with an S. I can't think now. But anyway, he's doing that same thing. And he reaches over and looks at the bottle and puts his hand out for it. And then makes a fist and withdraws his hand. And it's almost like he's sitting there having a conversation with an old friend. And he just hesitates to put his arm around him. And you just kind of sit, Oma. And it makes you just kind of naturally want to watch and wonder what he's going through. Okay?
Okay.
With that, Sean, what is your character doing?
So Sade would like to see if, how far away is Dayhon from my current location?
I would say he is every bit of 60, 70 foot away.
Okay, I'd
Probably
like
80.
to.
He's a good walk away.
I want to find some place near me that's kind of darkened and shady. And then I want to shadow step like 50 feet closer to him.
Okay. You do know, and Danny always gets a kick when I talk about deer hunting and things like that. You do know that it is windy out here and there's a lot of snow blowing. So a person is going to have a hard time hearing as well as they normally would. And you know that leads in your favor. Okay. So I'm going to say that there is a place. Let's just look at it and see what we got here. Let's go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. I'm going to say you could go right in this area, that there's going to be a railing here. All right. Or maybe underneath of this lift. And you could, now you want to be closer than that. If you do, I can let you teleport or shadow step to maybe on one of these ships to the side and look over the railing at him, and you can get much closer that way.
Yeah, I just want to be within like conversation distance from him.
Okay, let's put you 5, 10, 15, 20 foot away.
Yeah.
There's a little spot right here on this ship.
Mhm.
I'll put you right here behind that, okay?
Okay.
With that, I want to do something here real quick. The sun in the moonlight seems to peer through the clouds and brighten up the scene just a little bit as you start searching, and it happens just like this. There's a little blast of moonlight, and you're able to make out some more of the finer details in the city. Just for these next few moments, it seems. It may go dark again, but the clouds seem to be parting, and the snow itself seems to be dying down ever so much. Okay? With that, you will perform your move. Let me go ahead and move these players down here, and I will move your character. Shade will now, and you can do it up to 60 foot, correct?
Yeah, up to 60 feet per bonus action. So.
Okay. I'm going to put you about right here. Okay, and just for the hell of it, I'm going to conceal you like this. Make you transparent because you are still hiding. Okay? So as you do that and you're closer, Danny. Well, first, Oma, I need you to do a perception check with disadvantage.
Okay. Oh, okay. Good news, 18.
Really?
Yep.
Well, you know what, though?
Did I
Roll a
contest it with
stealth
my
check.
spell?
Roll a
Yeah.
stealth check.
Yeah,
Sade.
let me just pull up my.
And you have a shitload of dexterity to help with this. You have your dexterity bonus, your proficiency bonus.
Mm-hmm.
And did you put anything extra to stealth?
I want to say I did. Let me check real quick.
Okay, that's on your feat sheet if you would have.
Yeah.
But you already have a bonus of 8, no matter what you roll. So, matter of fact, your passive stealth then, which is 10 plus that, is she would have beat your passive stealth. So this would be why you need to roll. You'd have to roll an 11 or higher at this point.
Oh my gosh. I have been looking on this metal for like an hour now with this file.
There comes Danny's kids. What'd you get, Sean?
Oh, what happened to my? So 13 plus 8, which comes out to
21.
21. And then I'm gonna see if I have anything that boosts like.
That'll do it there, right?
Yeah, that's
20, yeah, I'll
enough
just
to
do the 21. Yeah.
Okay, Omi, you don't see anything out of the ordinary. I'd appreciate if you played it that way, okay?
Yeah.
You are still just focused on him down at the edge of this place looking over. You have moved within 5, 10, 15, 20 foot of him, and you're seeing the large back muscles ripple underneath him as he has heavy breath. And he just seems to be looking down and staring into the clouds below. Sade, what are you doing?
I'm going to, without trying to scare him off the edge, because I know he's precariously perched.
That'd be shit. Game over, Danny. It's your shoot.
I'm going to walk forward slowly on the ship that I'm at, and just call out his name. Just Dayhon, I have to speak with you. But
Okay. As that happens, Danny, you hear a faintly feminine voice come from the ship beside you and says what you've just heard. What are you doing?
He sighs and he looks over at the bottle. He opens it up and smells it for a second, puts the cap on, and it is a bit cold out. He takes a sip, and then he stands up and turns around looking for who called his name.
Okay. Behind you, on the deck of the ship, and the wind blowing through your ears and making a decent whistling noise, you see a familiar person come into view. As this attractive female figure steps towards you, dressed up in a stealthy warrior's attire, you see a person that looks like this character. Okay, and the best way to describe, well, you know what? I'll let Sean do it. Sean, please describe what your character looks like to everybody, sir.
okay, at this moment, Dayhon, you're looking at about 5'11", between 5'11", 6-foot woman, long black hair, kind of gaunt in features, kind of stern looking, but holds an air about herself that is kind of confident and very much well informed, but not on the point of arrogance. She has kind of darker eyes, and she just kind of has a stoic look about her right now, as if she wants to talk serious business with you.
Danny, we decided that his character, from searching through actors and actresses and stuff that would play, would be played by the female that played Kate Blanchett.
Yeah, Kate Blanchett. Basically, kind of looking like Kate Blanchett.
Yeah, that played Hela on the Thor movie. And we found some really interesting images I'll show you after a bit that really drives that point home. Very statuesque, very chiseled features and stuff. Has the dark eyes. What are you saying now, folks? Go ahead and have your conversation.
As
You guys are the
Dayhon
paintbrushes.
recognizes her, he says, tell your captain our business is done. Donctos is free. I won the bout. She got her money.
My quarrel isn't with, my discussion isn't about what happened. I have something on more of a personal matter to speak to you with. Your crew, they are friendlier than most others I've seen. I don't see that much back where I'm from, and something has been troubling me of late. I wonder if you could give me some advice. The captain is concerned about a certain issue that's happening in New Gemdar, and I've been tasked with looking into it. A certain acquaintance of ours, you know him, the Drowned Kiss.
I like Danny snarls. I just want to mention real quick that, Danny, you have seen this individual close to the side of Gleandra, the Maiden of Stone. You were there when this Drowned Kiss was there and almost drowned that elven maiden that was there beside Trevedale, the one that is cloned to look like one of his ex-wives. She was one of them that stood by the side and demanded that he stop doing what he was doing. This seems to be the right hand, or the left hand maybe, of Gleandra. You also saw her do battle on the ship when it was attacked by Lotan, by the Black Tentacles. and you have seen
He
her.
says, if you want me to end the water genocide, that's not a hard question.
Oh, no. Not yet, anyway. If my suspicions are correct, it may come to that. But nevertheless, he seems to be peculiar, for lack of better term. I'm not sure, but he seems to exert some kind of influence over my captain, and I'm not sure why.
With
What
that,
is
go ahead, please, go ahead.
what is your history with my captain, between you and yours?
We came to her rescue and she came to ours. Wasn't call it honor between sailors.
I know that one all too well.
However, her business with me in particular came about because Dantas and her cannon.
Okay. With that, Oma, I want to make a mention that you see Dayhon having a conversation with this shadowy figure, and you recognize her as well. You actually remember flashes of her fighting during that attack on the ship from the black tentacles of Lotan that seemed to grab it completely out of the sky, which is something no one anticipated. And you have seen this person, although you have never heard them speak. And you feel more defensive over Dayhon than you remember feeling over him before. Usually, you kind of just watch things, you stay back out of the way, and you're doing your thing, but you feel a defensive side swell up inside you just a little bit, Alex, as you watch this go down. It might be jealousy.
Mhm.
It might be just a protective instinct. You're not sure. But the two just seem to be having a conversation. What are you doing while they seem to be sharing words? You can't hear them because of the wind from where you're at.
Um, I would probably see that he seems to be doing well and go back to my room in a bit of a huff.
Okay. Just one moment here. I want to add you to this. Just 1 second. I got you here. I just got to find you real quick, Oma. I'm almost getting too many damn tokens. It's hard to find people. There you are, young lady. Okay, let me cut you out here real quick, and I'll add you to this. Okay. Paste. Okay, and now we're going to move it around real quick, and I want to put you into this, okay?
Okay.
So let's call this Oma. There you are. And I'll resize you, because if you were that big, everyone would be pissing themselves right now.
Mm.
Here I come, girl. No, we don't want that. A little bit of a resize. There is a spell you can learn later that might make that happen. I'm just saying. There you go. Okay. Let me move you over to the ship on the far side, which is ours, as you're watching all this happen.
Quick question while you're doing that. With my passive perception, would I have been able to see, or is she just so far out of sight I'm not even paying
She's
attention
across
to her?
another ship looking
Okay.
for things over here on the Lylung. No, I'm going to say at this point, especially with watching your quarry the way it was and sensing it being so quiet, you would not have heard or seen her, especially with the wind. Okay? Just for the hell of it, Alex, roll a dexterity check.
Uh-oh.
And, you know, ones and twos, I don't know, Alex, you got to figure something out.
Yeah. I know.
I love it.
Okay. 12.
Okay. You do in the distance hear some doors opening and shutting on the wind, Sade, but you don't see, just because of obstacles in the ways and things, but you feel that someone is up and stirring about on one of the other ships off in this direction, but you can't be sure. Oma, when you go to walk away from here, and you are doing so, in the distance, you hear something. Off to the side, on the far alleyways, you see the reflection in this general area of what looks like flickers of light that someone could be approaching, maybe possibly holding a torch, maybe a lantern. It could be guards coming up this way, but you sense something far off in the distance, but you can't make out any noises really because of the wind, but you do see a light source over here. Okay. And now I need you to roll a perception check for me.
Okay. 24.
Now we're talking. You hear on the wind toenails hitting hard stone as if they echo, coming up this long corridor that comes from beyond some of these bunker houses and shelter houses and goods trading areas, coming up through there, and you almost hear a whimper or something as if it could be possibly one of these dragoras or something of that nature, but it's just too soon to tell. But you hear something, could be 150 foot away or something like that, but there's something stirring in what would be the main streets of the city beyond this by another 50, 75 foot. Okay. With that, your character might hang out for just a minute to see what develops before you go back in. You would wrap yourself up in your shirt a little bit more, in your big jacket. Is there anything particular you want to prepare or do, or are you just going to kind of lie in wait and see what happens?
Not quite, okay, Kat. I'm not quite sure what I would prepare.
You have all kinds of different options. You also, remember, you can conjure the spirit of was it Soma? What is her name? The bird. She could go check things out for you. You could do a thing where you cast guidance on somebody to notice something more. You have a whole bunch of different things at your disposal, or you don't have to do anything that elaborate. You can literally, you could walk back and say, hey, Dayhon, look the fuck out. We don't know what's coming. You could go back and start walking towards them to see if you want to join in on this conversation, because there's two people there talking now and you're kind of feeling a little bit defensive, but not quite enough to you that you feel to go and act. All kinds of different options here. Just off the cuff, just what are you thinking about doing?
I think I'll hang out for a little bit to see what's going on. Because I don't want to raise the alarm if it's not something actually troublesome.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. All right, with that, you two continue your conversation. Danny, he has just explained to you a couple things, and you've had a minute to stew on it. What are you thinking? You have this person that's came to you, has presented to you that they're having problems with this drowned kiss. You know this person, although they seem shady and from a place you don't quite trust. You do know that you guys, when push come to shove, you two work together to put an end to whatever was threatening you during the race. And that goes a long way, especially from people where this ship is from the city of Aranos. That's rare. What are you doing in reply to what? And have you told him your name, Sean?
No.
Okay, from this individual, this shadowy figure.
He looks out and he says, kind of looks off the dock and he goes, if you're looking for the one that's stepping through shadows and that she talked to before, he only contracts with us occasionally. I'm not the slip through the dark kind of guy.
So when he says that, you're thinking he's talking about the other one that seemed to be a rogue of their group. Dayhon seems to be somewhat off-putting, as if he has his own things on his mind currently, and is talking about if you want to make deals with looking into things like that, he's wanting you to reference a meeting with another one that you've seen with them, this roguish individual, but the name you're not familiar with yet.
Okay.
He
Can I
says,
roll an insight check? Sorry, to
Absolutely.
for my character to see what's going on with Dayhon.
Yeah, go ahead.
Why is it?
Oh, yes, you can.
I was like, that's. All right, let me see. Oh, it's a 17 plus whatever my wisdom is.
Is 3.
It's 3, so it's 20.
Okay, what are you
Just
trying
to kind of what I'm trying to gauge from his mannerisms and the way he talks, my character can understand that something else is on his mind, and you know.
Okay, what's your charisma bonus, Danny? Just basically.
3.
Okay, so he has a passive charisma of 13 when he's talking right now. You have surpassed that, so you can surmise that with that bottle sitting beside him, and he seems a bit off-putting, that he has had a lot on his plate tonight. You knew that he was one of them that fought in those battles earlier, which is why you waited. So if you're wanting to get straight answers out of him, you may have to take a different approach. Being intriguing to him doesn't seem to be soothing the savage beast, so to speak, at the moment.
Okay. So I will, I guess, hop off onto the actual dock from the ship.
Okay.
And like cross my arms and stand full in front of him and just be like, Dayhon, what's going on? Just kind of get really familiar-ish. Yeah. Just really full on, just, yeah.
Okay, Dayhon, how do you respond to that, sir? She's 5 foot from you, staying there with her arms crossed, giving you a knowing look of an eyebrow raised.
what is it you want?
I just want to talk at this point.
Talk.
I see. And then she just turns around and walks away.
Nice. With that, Danny, as this person is walking away, you're thinking about the person you need to become. You've been sitting there and you're looking at that bottle.
Wait. And if he's still looking as I walk away, I want my hair color to change from black to blonde really quickly, and then back into black.
Okay, that will work.
Mm-hmm.
Danny, roll me a perception check, please.
24.
You see something as if a whiff of fog and snow has blown through here, but it wasn't that played this trick on your eyes. You see the hair color change on this being as it turns around and walks from you. There's several things that cross your mind as this happens, Dayhon. The first one is as you're sitting there and you're looking at that bottle, and you're looking at where you were sitting, and you're seeing the light footsteps in the very thin layer of snow that is covering this place. You're thinking about, how much time have I spent doing this? How much time have I sat and done things like this? And how many more nights like this do I need? You're remembering that drowned kiss, and you're remembering some of the things that you didn't like about this, and you're thinking about the words that kind of went in one ear and out the other here. You start to swell up inside a little bit and start thinking about a time when you maybe were lazy as a child, and you're thinking, maybe I need to do something. Go ahead, Danny.
He says, hey, I'm not one of you that sneak around in the shadows. If you want something of me, you've got to tell me what it is.
She turns, she looks at him, and she says, I just need your help, and maybe we can help each other. I can see what you're going through, not knowing who you are. And at that, my face changes to reflect Dayhon's face. And then it changes back to Sade's face.
Okay, with that, Danny, I need you to do me a charisma saving throw.
15.
Okay, you are dazed by this, not in a way of it as if this were combat, but you are at a literal charismatic loss for words. As this happens, once again, as the hair blows across this thing's face and looks right at you, and you see yourself looking into your own eyes for just a brief moment. Okay.
Oh God, this just brought back like memories of us when we were kids. I'm a guard post.
Yeah, I know, right? It's good shit. But that happens, and then when it flashes back again, and the hair blows through the wind again, you're looking back at this this female person with mystique, looking deep into your eyes. You're thinking about looking into the face of people that you didn't think you'd ever see again, just in the last 5 hours or so, and now you had a chance to look at yourself, and you're seeing the face of the way this being is perceiving you. You're looking for that brief moment at a stern looking person that is very outlandish, with deep marks scoring in between your eyebrows. And you can't help but think to yourself for just a moment, is this who I've become? What are you doing, Danny?
He looks up and he says, Dayra, grandfather, I'll do better. Come, have a seat. And he turns his back and goes to sit back down on the thing with his legs, and he cracks his bottle open and sets it down to his left.
Okay, awesome. Oma, you see this kind of dramatic thing pouring out into the side, and now with that amazing perception check, you see the torchlight growing brighter. You look left and right, and you notice that it's at an angle where these two could not see. You hear more of these toenails clacking on low-laying stone steps and whatnot, and you start to think maybe this is the Dragor. Maybe they're doing rounds around here. Are they going to cause any harm to us? They've been in the city.
Mm-hmm.
The king seemed to let them be here to keep guard, but the fights are over now. So what are they doing here? I'm going to play through this for another moment here, then I'll get to you. Okay, Oma?
Okay.
Okay, I just wanted to, if there's something where you want to interject and you're like, I object, Brian Kynes, God damn it. You just got to yell at me and let me know, and we'll flash right back to you. I mean, you might start hurling chain lightning at the buildings. I don't know what you're going to do, okay? So, Sade, with that, he has set the bottle here.
Okay.
And asks you to come have a seat. What are you doing?
Sade will turn around and sit next to him.
Okay. As you do, I want you to roll a charisma saving throw.
That is charisma saving throw, so that's 17 plus 3 is 20.
Okay. You have no fear of this. This does not turn your stomach at all, but you could see how it would
will in real life.
That isn't used to being on airships.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there very carelessly smelling like this a little bit, and you see an absolute lack of regard for self. In the fact that he's sitting there in slippery snow, you don't believe he's as agile as you are.
Right.
And you feel comfortable sitting down as you are poised in your movements and way, almost like an assassin of sorts. And you sit down beside this large individual. You notice different kinds of tattoos that depict different kinds of creatures that align his side of his arm, his forearm on his one side. And you're now getting a look at him, and you're getting a look at the armor that he wears and things of that nature. And he is a very unique warrior, and the snow that lands upon his skin does not seem to shiver him at all. These tattoos are more detailed and more beautiful to your eyes than the kind of tattoos you're used to seeing people of this descent in race have. There's something to this. Okay. With that, Sade, I will let you and Danny go ahead and converse. Just so you know, guys, I'm not forcing this any direction. This is D&D. This is what happens. So I know, Danny, you're kind of gruff and shit. I want you to think about the overall picture and who you are. Go ahead and have your conversation, and when you need me, I'll be here.
As you kind of sit down slowly, Dayhon looks over to you and looks down and he goes, I once tried to surf behind an airship. Just because an airship can float in the air doesn't mean a board can.
Interesting, she says.
Yes.
As she listens to you, she's staring at the tattoos on your arm, and she just comments, "This is very interesting. Does everybody see these?"
Good job. Yeah. Okay.
Or am I the only one that can see them?
They're there for anybody that wants to look.
Oh.
Okay. Interesting
Mental
point.
note. Yeah. What do they mean?
What's that?
What do they mean?
Some of them speak of my tribe. Some of them speak of my family.
And as he's talking about his tattoos, she's gonna actually like roll up her sleeve, and then as he describes each one, the tattoos kind of just start forming on her arm.
You know what? For the hell of it, just for the fun, Shade, roll a performance check.
Yeah. That's performance is charisma, correct?
Absolutely.
So that's a 15.
Okay, with a 15 and you being able to do what you do naturally, I'm going to say this just for a little bit of flair, that Danny, when this female being sitting across from you begins to do this, the tattoos not only come into view and look like yours, but they seem to move a little bit and are somewhat animated in their movements, almost like if you've ever seen the animation of pictures that just have certain slow moving parts to them, not fully animated, but just the different parts will bend and twist to make it seem like it has a two-dimensional life. You see them do that just a little bit on here, and you've never seen anything quite like that, and it fascinates you. What are you doing?
He says, he points over his, actually he wouldn't, that one's covered up, but down his left arm you would see that there's a behemoth. And he would say, he would touch it and say, this is Baratax.
She looks interesting, and then she asks, so these tattoos, they seem different than what I've seen other sailors have. Are they magical in any way?
Show them what to do, Danny. No, do it, please. God, do it.
He looks over at you and he closes his eyes for a minute. And
Well, that's
if you don't
fantastic.
the little bit of stone that's laying around, the loose gravel on the dock, would start to rise up in the air. And when he looks at you, he snorts, and you realize one of the reasons he's not cold is because there's an inner heat, and this steam comes out of his nose. And it almost seems like the dock is giving way, like something bigger than him is sitting there.
Can I do something that's going to make you very happy with me, Danny? I didn't foresee this like this, but I created something that added to your character. I have to do this. I have to do this. I can't help it. Look at me. I'm like a little kid. So when Danny begins to do this, you see, Sean, an image, and something starts to come over top of Danny's character as he touches this behemoth-like tattoo and rune on his body, as if he is channeling something, and you see the faded form of a behemoth seem to come out with this green earth-like empowered glow around his character.
Okay.
And then it would slowly fade away back into him. And it's the spirit of this creature is bonded with him now.
Okay.
And as that happens, you would see that he is taking on what seems to be some kind of physical characteristics of this creature. He seems broader. He's snorting hot air out of his nose. He seems to have been heavier. His shoulders seem broader. He takes on, there are almost a phantom-like looking set of horns that hang from alongside of his head as if a great behemoth would have them. And you notice that his feet, as they dangle over the edge of the dock, almost look to seem like great hooves. And he
Shocked you as
just
well.
looks at you with that smirk on his face that he's got right there, you know. And I'm sorry, I just wanted to do that, Danny. I thought you could think of that.
Shocked, Shade looks at him and says, "Wow, I haven't been able to do that before."
That's true.
Where did you learn how to do that?
Single combat with a behemoth.
Is this something that your native peoples taught to you?
That is the epitome of Sutaga.
Must be nice to have known who you are since birth. And with that, she stands up and walks away.
Okay. So, with that, abruptly, for some reason, this person stands up and begins to walk away, Danny. You can't help but have this feeling, is like, is it something I said? You're not exactly sure what it is, but she stands up and begins to walk away. Gets about 10 foot. Let's pause that.
If there's a shadow on the dock, I'd like to find it and then like shadow step, so he doesn't actually know what direction.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's put you back here in the back corner of the ship, okay?
Yeah.
So we're going to shadow step you there, and then we're going to take your character and we're going to dim them down. And once you roll, you have a passive stealth thing of, what did we say it was, 18? 10
Something like
plus
that.
your 8. And then, Danny, I want you to go ahead and roll a perception check to see if you're able to tell where this strange female, the shadowy female, has went to. And she took 3 steps away and went into the shadow of this pillar right here, leapt straight into it, and is now vanished again.
Perception 25.
Okay,
And I
you're
would
going to have
probably attribute that to the fact that he has been hunting in the snow most of his life.
Yep.
Before
So
he
you're going to
became.
have to roll a stealth check for him not to have an idea
Yeah.
where you are.
That is a 27.
Gotcha! Yahtzee, Danny, Yahtzee! See, I just want you to know, Sean, you're my personal hero right now because I don't ever have the luxury of beating Danny in dice rolls because he's cold and God. So you doing it, it makes me a little happy on the inside. Okay, with that, I'm going to pause the action there for just a minute. Okay, so now we're going to have an introspective moment. Sean, tell me about what your character has on their mind. Of course, when I do this, I want Alex and Danny to disregard this. I just want to know what your idea is, why you left the conversation, just so I can play to what you're up to here.
So
I can actually hit the head while he's discussing it.
Okay, go ahead, buddy.
it's kind of an introspective, almost jealousy, in that I can understand that he's having a crisis of identity,
Yeah.
but why should he have a crisis of identity when he know who he was since birth?
Oh, well put. Okay, cool.
I as my character, didn't even know who I was
Right.
until, because of all the things that, learning about who I was and what kind of creature I am, and then slowly coming to terms with it, and then slowly learning how to do the things that I do.
So you're possibly starting to second guess. You're not used to reaching out to people like this, and this first attempt was a big step for you, and you want to find out what's going on and what the problem is here, and you got a little bit cold feet on it. And when you started getting a little bit too close and reached out and you were trying, it almost was like a cat that doesn't like being pet on the back. They were purring at first, and then something about this felt strange to you, and you're sitting here on the ship for a minute, Sean, and you're kind of breathing, and you're still looking over the corner of the ship at him as he kind of looks around, looking to see where you went. He's not hopping up. He's not acting angry. He's just kind of looking. And you're wondering if that was necessary. You're sitting here thinking to yourself, here I am again. It's just like I'm back in that alley. Haven't I learned anything? I get close like that, and then I need to get away. And that's the thought going through your mind. With that, for just a moment, Oma. In the distance, you see something. I also need you, Sean, to make a perception check.
Let's see. Perception is wisdom, so that's +3.
But you get your proficiency bonus
With
that
which
as well,
that
because you're
is +6, so that's a 24.
You notice this as well. In the distance, over in here, you hear footsteps crushing in the snow, and you see a torchlight coming up through this path. And in the distance, a figure comes into view. It's a large, almost 8 foot tall, heavily naturally armored with bones and stuff, with a large maw and eyes that seem to be flickering in the moonlight, with a large, what seems to be cruel looking sword. It looks more for butchering than it does for actually being wieldable. It has a natural flame that grows along the side of it, and it is illuminating a path, and he's using it as a torch. And this character is walking up along this way. It looks like it's looking for something. Sniffs the air. It kind of looks down and looks into the snow and is looking around. Oma, I need you to do me a charisma saving throw.
Okay.
Okay, you're able to hold your place, and you realize this is not the one from the past, but this is one of the higher ups. This is one of the more elite bugbears. This is a Beastmaster one. You remember these kind because they had different pack animals that they would train and keep with them all the times as they ransacked your home back in the day. You almost feel like, for a minute, did something come out of the soul stone and follow me back to the real world? Then you remember, no, they're here. It's why I made myself, that's why I got to the ship the way I did. What is he doing up here? They were only supposed to be here to watch the fights, and now that time's over. You find yourself starting to find some inner bravery as your heart starts to beat faster with that roll, wondering and almost knowing that this creature can be up to no good, and it seems like it's tracking something. You've seen them look like this before. You think back to lower before, and you wonder, how well have we covered our steps? Could they possibly have an idea that I'm here? You don't think so, with all the tens of thousands of people that live in the city, especially way up here in this part. You wouldn't think, but then again, you remember when you were a child. Didn't stop him then. What is your character doing?
I would like to go ahead and summon Mina.
Okay,
Um,
I will do that for you. And since I just added you to this, I'm going to have to get Mina, but that only takes a minute. You know how this works.
Yep.
Characters, icons, and all. Say spells and effects. I think I have it under spells and effects. I do not. It's going to be under tokens and heroes, and that will work for Mina. Okay, so let's do a little bit of this. Oh no, first we'll do this. Bam. And bam. No, not that much. Let's take a little less. Let's go similar colored area. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, let's go ahead and hit an eraser. Let's get rid of that shit. Okay, let's go back to this. Now let's reverse it. Bam. Let's select it. Copy. All right. Let's go back to here. Edit, paste. This will only take a minute, folks. And then we're going to have, this is one of the luxuries about this, is that I can do kind of fun shit like this when I need to. But it takes me just a minute when I'm doing it. Okay, and I will put her in. You summon her up. Usually they summon close to within your movement range. Where would you like to summon Mina to? Just to your side for the moment?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and do that. I'll summon her there. I'll hit OK.
and I'd like to tell her to warn Dayhon.
Okay. Okay, just a minute. And her name's Mina, M-I-N-A?
Yep.
Okay. As we do that, okay. And I'm going to make you a folder. Let me put some things in here real quick, young lady.
Okay.
And then we'll be good to go. Okay.
Mhm.
And let me go ahead and do, let me see where you at here, Oma. In that folder. This is Oma. Okay. Okay, let me go ahead and go to Mina. Let me turn her around. Nope. Let's do, no. No. No, let's try this. There it is. Hey, everybody. Okay, let's erase this stand because I don't think she needs a pedestal. I don't think that's necessary. Okay. And now let's change Mina's color just a little bit. Filter, color adjustments, hue and saturation. She was red fiery, correct?
Yes.
I like it. Okay, she's there. It works, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. And it only took probably about 1 minute, and I'm happy with that. You want her to go warn Danny. What is the exact message? Mina comes out, and she says in that very strong female native voice, she goes, "You've summoned me. It is late. What is it, Oma? What troubles you?"
Warn Dayhon, incoming bugbear.
Okay. Mina looks around for just a moment, perceives exactly where he is, and actually sees your character as well, Sean, and makes her way there with haste. I need to do one more thing real quick for this before we get going. Layer 15, marker. Just 1 minute. Okay. Marker. Bam. Okay, let's go like here. Let's go here. Let's go there. Okay, and then we're going to, Mina, we're going to move you down to that. Okay, had to do that. Only took, all right, so with that, she takes off flying in that direction as fast as she can. Okay, so as she is going this way. That's one thing I love about this, guys. I can do shit on here that you can't do in normal gaming platforms. I really, really enjoy this. So with that, Danny, as you're sitting there and you're looking over your shoulder to see where this shadowy figure went to, and as Sean, as you're sitting there reflecting on why you actually turned and walked away, you see this bird that seems to radiate some orange and red aura of flame, almost a phoenix, but not a phoenix. It's much smaller, much simpler than that. You've never seen anything quite like this. It seems to be flying, coming from a ship off in the distance, piercing through the snow and heading over towards Danny's character. Danny, you see this bird coming in, you know very well what it is. Okay? With that, what do you say and do, Danny?
He looks up to the bird and what is it Oma wants?
She says for you to open your eyes and look around at your surroundings. The bugbears are on their way here now. Their torchlights glow from the stairways in the distance. And she turns that way and she lets out kind of a muffled screech and ha! Just kind of something off in the distance and looks that direction and hovers up above you, about 15 foot pointed, looking down the pier from you, Danny. As that happens, you look back and you do see some dim torchlight in this area as this bugbear seems to be walking down that way. You're looking up this way and you realize you've left heavy snow prints in the snow of your feet. I want you to roll a wisdom check.
Nat 20.
Nat 20. You realize all kinds of things. You understand that Saturn has rings that are made of gas. You realize that the pole. You also understand that these things are natural trackers and survivalists too. And you would have never thought they would have had the balls to track you all the way back up here. And you did trudge. You didn't try to stealthily get away once you talked to the people in the city. And you made a mockery of these things in that arena afterwards. You could see very easily why these things might be coming here to seek vengeance. They might have even asked where you were from. No one would have told them not to ask. You know what I'm saying? And you can't help but think whatever you think, but you've got to imagine that they're coming up here looking for the guy that was responsible for throwing them over and making a mockery of their people. What are you doing? You don't see them, but you see the light in the distance.
He stands up. Going to go ahead and go full on into the ancient behemoth.
Oh, thank you, because I tell you, I worked hard on this, and I'm really glad you're doing it. So we'll do it again, because I like it so much. And I'm going to leave that slightly illuminated in the background. Okay, buddy? Do you like that?
I like it.
Wait till you see Phoenix. I'm going to leave it just like that in the background, Danny, so you can kind of faintly see it around you as you're doing that shit. Right? I'm sorry. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, it feels good. A little back pat. No problem. Okay, Dayhon. You stand up. With that,
he actually is going to make himself known because he knows he's going to track him anyway. And he says, if you don't spill my drink, I'll kill you quickly.
As you say that, it echoes down the way. Sade, you are seeing this go down as you are seeing the torchlight come up, and you're looking at his path, and you see him getting ready to pick a fight with something that hasn't even really come into view yet. As you peer off the side of the ship and look to that area and see the torchlight as well, you see this large bugbear step into view and come around the corner. As it stands right here, it looks out at Bellows. It bellows out a low growl, almost you're getting ready to stick your hand in a dog's food bowl without you wanting you to, okay? As he looks down the pier and these two lock eyes like two bulls or two rams getting ready to lock horns in the middle of this thing, the creature speaks in a common language. Just, you thought you'd just come back here and forget what happened between our kind earlier. He says, fancy meeting you here. Everyone told me the drunken braggart would be above the flying ships. But you're easier to find than even I thought you might be. Fool. With that, you hear him go, come on. And as he makes this sound, you hear the claw marks tapping even louder, Alex, along the way as two other things come into view. As it does, these larger than normal wolves that have the same eerie glow in their eyes come and stand at the top of both stairways that lead down into this. And he goes, I've brought you supper. Hope you're hungry, my darlings. It says with that, and with that, we're going to take a break. So I'm going to pause our recording here in just a moment. Then Brian is going to go to the bathroom and refill his coffee. And we'll take a minute here and I'll discuss whatever you guys want to. Hopefully I'll get on Facebook and see where in the hell Ron's at and if he's still got a house, because he should have joined in at this point already. But hope everybody's enjoying themselves. And I'm going to pause this and you guys stick around for just a minute, okay?
Okay.
We'll be back.
Hi, guys. The bathroom.
Zoom. Okay, everybody, we've had a chance to better ourselves emotionally and physically. She's got the owl up here with us. No shit's getting ready to get real. We're back now, and this bugbear Beastmaster is slinging shit words back and forth with Danny's character. Oma has already saw what's going on there and is making steps to correct it with Mina. And Sean, we will deal and ask about your character and what they're doing. Let's share screen, and I want to share simply that screen there. And we're sharing. So you guys can hear the battle music softly in the background, correct?
Sure.
Or not?
I can't personally, but I don't know if everybody else can.
Okay, I'm going to turn up just a touch, which is not a problem. Stay on YouTube volume control. There we go. Nicely played, Brian. Nicely played. Okay, so, all right. Let's go ahead and I want to make sure I'm doing my share correctly where I'm choosing the computer audio. Just one moment here. Just take me a second to get this done right, everyone. Okay, let's go ahead and go share screen again. There it is, share computer sound, and then that, and then share. Okay, there you go. You might be able to hear it better now.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was missing, everybody. Okay, so having said that, Sade, I'm going to give you a chance to react to what it is that you're seeing. Bugbear's throwing down these words and seems to have some kind of vendetta and problem with Dayhon on the side of the ship. You're wondering, man, what kind of characters am I getting involved with here? With that, you are still hidden from everyone. What is it that you would personally like to do in this situation?
I would like to. Are these wolf-like creatures facing the Beastmaster, or are they just facing down the dock?
They seem to be going back and forth from facing him and then looking down, almost like they've been trained very well. These things look a little skanky. I had to say, the hair stands up ridged on their back. They seem more feral and savage than most wolves. They are taller at the shoulder than most. I'd say these are Great Dane, bigger sized wolves that seem to have been trained in some way, because you see leather straps and harnesses around their back as if they could be chained on their back and walked at will. These things seem to be somewhat vicious. Okay, but they're looking back and forth between this, whatever this is, and down the stairways that lead to the lower platforms where the air.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unsheath Isadora, and then just remain on the ready for when it's time to strike.
Okay, you don't know how cool it is for me to hear you saying that you're unsheathing Isadora. It is fucking cool. I can't help it. I'm a little kid. All right. So with that, Danny, what are you saying in reply to what this bugbear Beastmaster has spewed at you from the other end of this long plank dockway?
He steps 5 foot forward and says, "Come grab the behemoth by the horns." Steps out into a wide stance, and with that, I'm going to spend, not bad, 3 mana points for him. And he is taking on the Gaia's mantle. Throws his arms up wide like they are the behemoth's horns, and takes on a defensive stance, waiting for him to come.
Okay, that's awesome. All right, so make a note of that you have Gaia's mantle up on your character, and I will as well, okay? Status ailments or effects, Gaia's mantle. And when it comes time for that, tell me what it does, okay? You know the mechanics. With that, let's go ahead and roll initiative, everyone. Okay, so remember, we're going to do things a little, well, if you don't remember.
Natural 20!
Yeah, on initiative, we're doing our proficiency bonus. We're doing any skill points we have towards initiative, which is foresight and things like that. And then listen, if you're attacking or something like that, Danny, you're adding your strength to it. If you're attacking, Sean, you're adding your dexterity to it. Oma, if you're casting a spell, you're adding your wisdom modifier to the initiative roll. It all depends on what you're doing. Okay, so remember, the basis are you rolled a 1d20, proficiency bonus, okay, and then the modifier of what it is you're trying to do, and then any skill points you have towards getting the upper hand in the initiative. Okay, go ahead and do some rolling of my own here. Okay. Damn, dude. That sucks. That's better. Okay. First up, Alex, what is your initiative roll?
$22.
Nice. Okay, Danny, what was yours?
11.
Are you shitting me? Wow, you suck, Danny.
Stay on that.
Sade, what was yours?
I rolled a natural 20, so with that, and let me just look at every other thing I got.
So initiative on your character sheet's on the right,
Mhm,
halfway down. It'll be your dexterity bonus if you're doing attacks,
mhm,
which is 5. Then it'll be your proficiency
Yeah.
bonus, which is 3, which is 8. And then you have 4 spent in foresight.
mhm. Yeah,
which is
so
12. So 32.
32.
Jesus criminy, buddy. Way to come out with your first roll being in the 30s. I think that's a lot to live up to. Jesus, man. Good Lord. Okay, and what was yours again, Oma?
22.
All right. So I don't know if I need to tell you this or not, buddy, but Sade,
Mhm.
you're up first, no doubt. Let me write down something.
Okay. I am going to, because I like using it. It's so cool. I'm gonna shadow step from the this ship, see if I can get behind one of these larger wolves.
Okay. It is definitely within range of you. The moonlight seems to be shining this way. The one that
Okay.
seems to be the best would be the shadow here, coming off the side of this building. It's going to put you right in this area. You would be within range of this
Yeah.
creature. Now, I went ahead and said earlier that it was facing down the stairway and looking at him back and forth. And if you popped in about right here, you could be in melee range of it, and you would be surprising it, but he would have a chance of seeing you. You're out of his range. If you go here, you could be hidden from everybody, but you wouldn't be in melee range of this creature. So that's your decision you need to make there. You see what I mean?
What about the other one?
The other one doesn't seem to have a viable shadow.
Yeah,
And,
I certainly
what?
step through
It does.
shadows.
This banister right here. There's one.
Yeah, I'm gonna hop behind that one.
Okay.
And then what's my
I'm going to leave you. I love the things we can do with this. I'm sorry, I know. But I can still leave you kind of halfway transparent. That way you're still kind of hidden, which is a neat effect.
And then you said I can make 5 attacks between 2 turns to split 3-2, correct?
Absolutely. All those numbers you just said sound great to me.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to take
Now you
I'm gonna take
Isadora drawn. So you're
I have Isadora drawn, so I'm gonna take 2 swipes at the thing with Isadora.
The first one is with advantage and is going to have a backstab multiplier added to it. You beat its passive perception with your stealth.
So it's got the sneak attack. Yeah. Fuck, I forgot I had sneak attack. I'm so focused on being a monk.
Yep. And remember, with the shadow, way of the shadow, I think you have some extra shit there too, don't you?
I'm looking.
Wisdom to the first one. It'd be just the very front of the.
Yeah, with Shadow Strike. But I didn't call it, so.
Well, no, I mean just as an ability from doing Way of the Shadow, not the thing that I made for you.
Oh yeah. Hold on. Let me just check real quick. Defense. No, it's just a straight. It's just a straight attack plus all the regular bonuses. I don't get anything from the Shadow Monk.
Okay.
So yeah, I do get the additional, I think, D6 for sneak attack.
And you also have weapon specializations. You can always add a 1d4 to one attack per turn, whatever you like to do. Okay. Go ahead and make your first strike, and then I'm going to.
Okay, so the first hit against it is a 15 plus 9, which is 21 to hit.
That hits and breaches. You You were able
Okay.
to find purchase in the inner part of its hide, and it doesn't have any damage reduction versus this attack.
Okay, so I roll the weapons attack for the first strike, which is 1d6 plus 4, so that's 8, plus my sorry, I'm just plus sneak attack, which is an additional d6. So that's 8. That's 9 points of damage, and sorry, I'm just trying to
Just
figure out
curious,
my
what
skills.
level are you as far as
He's
your
Overall,
no, just your rogue.
my rogue is only 2 levels,
Okay.
and then I get a +1, so that's 10 with precise attack.
Yep, now precise was already added into the roll.
Oh, okay.
We're looking at your
And
damage, which was the backstab, the initial hit, and your bonus of, I think it's a +3 with the rapier.
okay, so yeah, +3. So total of I believe it's I want to be so 4 plus I want to say 11 points
Okay.
of damage.
Okay, and I meant to say, sorry,
No worries.
you didn't breach it. It's 100% covered with its fur, but you went right through it. You were able to breach through its fur hide and attack it. You didn't find
Okay.
a spot that wasn't furry and hit. That'd have been damn near a much higher roll, but you were able to go right through its fur, no problem.
Okay,
Did 11 points of damage.
that was the first attack.
Okay, go ahead.
The second attack, I hit. I get 18 to hit.
Okay, 18 barely hits it. So theatrically, as you go down, you hit the first time, and it raises up its shoulders and turns around and squares up with you, and you're looking at it face to face now. And as you come in for the second blow, you come down, its head ducks just barely, and you're able to graze it across the top of the head, and you catch one of its ears and the side of its muzzle. Like that,
Okay.
and you see a little flash of blood in the snow. Roll your damage.
So that's 8 points of damage.
Nice.
So I'm using the rapier. And then for my third attack, I'm gonna just with my free hand try and punch it in the face.
Okay. Go ahead, martial arts strike. And are you using do any kind of wind up or anything special?
No, I'm just going for a regular punch to the face.
Okay.
If you can turn the background music on just a little bit.
I can.
Here.
One of the luxuries I've got of this shit. I can do pretty much whatever I need to.
Okay, so that is a 24 to attack, to hit.
Oh wow, and that's a really good hit. Okay, as you come in with that attack, you're actually I'll say you're back fisting the sucker. After you come down with the other one, you're able to come across with a nasty back fist knuckle to it. Go ahead and roll your damage for that.
So that's 7 points of damage.
Okay.
And then bonus action. Oh no, my bonus action was the shadow step. So that's my turn.
Okay. With that, the creature looks roughed up and ruffled. It is turned down. You've put 2 decent slashes on the creature. And you two, it is not bloodied yet by any means, but it definitely feels your presence. The next person to go is going to be Oma.
Yes.
It is your turn, young lady. What is it that you would like to do in this situation? You see this person that you barely caught a glimpse of earlier, shadow step, and you've seen other people do something similar to this. This looks like a trick Danny's character does a lot, but it seems to be much more natural for whatever creature or person this thing is. And it jumped behind this wolf, and the two are going at it. You see flashes of silver against the moonlight, and you see her just do a back fist on this thing. You are 35 to 40 foot away from this target. What would you like to do on your turn?
Can I cast Sacred Flame at the wolf thing?
Absolutely, you can. What's the
Alrighty.
range of it?
60 feet.
Well, then I think that means hell yes.
Okay.
And are you casting it at a higher level, or is it just do a base damage? Tell me about it.
Does the spell's damage increases by 1d8 when you reach 5th level?
Which you have.
So 2d8.
Okay, awesome. Go ahead and roll a ranged spell attack. It's a 1d20 plus, and you're going to have those 2 scrolls down there underneath your character sheet. One says spell DC, and then the one to the far right is your ranged spell attack. Okay, so you have that rectangle square there in the middle of your character sheet.
Yep.
That talks about your weapons. Right below that, you'll see 2 scroll emblems. The one on the right is for your ranged spell attack bonus.
Okay.
What is that?
We hadn't filled in the spell attack modifier.
Okay, so here's what you do. It's very, very simple. Okay?
Yeah.
You're using wisdom, that's 5.
Okay.
All right? Then you have your proficiency bonus, which is 3. Okay?
Okay.
That's 8. Now, do you remember spending any skill points at all on precise attacking with magic on your feats sheet? It's called Hone Magic.
Oh, hone spell.
Yep.
I have 3 spell
Okay.
skill points in that.
That's 3 more. So that's 5, 6, and so you have 11. Write down 11 in that scroll. So you're rolling a 1d20 plus 11 to hit things when you do a ranged spell attack. Okay?
Okay.
All right. And there we got our maths down.
Well,
And roll high, because I like you. You know, come on.
that'd be 23.
23 absolutely hits this creature as you throw your flame across here. Is there any way you want yours to look particularly that may be dear and near to your heart, or you just want to throw just a shot of flame at this sucker? What is there anything, any flair you want to put on it that talks and speaks of your person? Perfectly fine if not.
Can I have
if
it
so,
look-
that's cool too.
Can I have it look kind of like an owl?
Absolutely, you can. So we'll say a spiritual looking owl that's covered in radiant flame shoots out across here, and the only thing you can do is make out the large eyes and the wings of the owl as they fold back, and it comes down and hits this wolf almost like it's attacking a mouse or something in a field. So remember that, okay?
Okay.
You could say something like, what was the name of it again?
Neisha.
Neisha. You could summon, when you cast the spell for now, and just say like Neisha, you know, and throw your hand out. That's a cool effect. So with that, go ahead and roll your 2d8 damage.
So, that'd be 5.
Oh, damn. Okay. 5 points of damage. Okay, and all of a sudden, this wolf starts to look worse for wear. It's starting to look like it's a little bit bloody. To you, Sean, especially since you're up close to it, seems like it's taken quite a few hits here, and is starting to wear it down to a degree. That's your major action to cast that, correct, Alex?
Yes.
Okay, you have a bonus action, you have movement, and you also know that coming up right after you, you get to control your bird.
Right.
Anything else in your turn you'd like to do with a bonus action?
Is anyone injured yet?
Nope. The wolf, if you're feeling bad about what you've done,
Oh no. No.
it'd make it a long night, wouldn't it? She's like, I got you. Well, I feel bad. Well, I kind of feel, you know. Yeah.
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. So you're just going to hold your ground and stay there. Everything feels as if it's in range of you and you are content, correct?
Yes.
Okay. With that, the next person to go is going to be wolf number 2. And here's how we tell which one that is. We just go like this, wolf number 2. There you are, number 2. It's this one. Okay, with that, it is going to attack your character, Sean. Sade.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a 15 to hit.
I believe. Armor class. That is miss.
Okay. And remember, you have all those different things for when people miss you as your reaction. Or you want to use that or you want to hold on to it?
It's a missed attack, so I'm going to go ahead and take my punishing counter strike.
Yep. You can do something that takes a full turn
Mm-hmm.
worth of time to do. You can't make multiple attacks. You could do flurry blows on it.
Yeah.
Because that's a one extra thing. But like you want to do a shadow strike, you want to do something like a spell that took a whole turn, you could do that to this creature right now if you wanted to. And since it rolled a, what did I say? It rolled a 15.
15.
It would have took what? A large
25.
amount. You
It would have taken at least 25 to hit
get a
me.
plus 10 to this attack to counter it.
Okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and take a normal punch to the face.
Okay, still using the monk's fists. Go ahead and do your thing.
So that's a 30 to hit.
You breach it. So when you clock this sucker, you hit it in the muzzle, and you swear you heard a bone crack inside there. It almost gives you a grimace as you see the nose ridge raise up on this thing, and it sniffs and like that and looks back at you fiercely. Roll your damage.
That's 8 points of damage.
Woo! Okay, do you want to use a stunning strike or make anything?
Yeah, stunning strike.
All right. So roll me what the DC of this stunning strike is. You're doing a 1d20,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're adding what to it?
I'm adding my spell save DC, right?
Absolutely.
All right, so that is a 19.
Shoo! All right, I got to do is it a Constitution or a Wisdom saving throw?
I think stunning strike is a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Did not make it. The wolf falls down to its side, and the only thing you can see is its eyes wide open and the furry side of it pumping up and down as it's breathing heavily. If you have knocked this fucker for a loop, this creature is on its side right now, stunned. Okay?
Okay.
Right now, wolf number 2, stunned. All right, and that stops its turn automatically. It had another bite attack at you, but not now. So, next person to go. That punishing counter-strike's some fun shit. Let's go ahead and go with this number 4 is going to be the protagonist, if I'm saying that correctly. Okay. So, with that, he was going to do something, but now that sucker's stunned, it's not really going to work very well. Let's say he is going to leap down, sending 10 foot of his movement. And he's going to move to this spot right here. Okay. As he comes down, lands with a crash and thud. You see some of the boards raise up and stuff, and you're looking into the eyes of this creature, Danny, but you're just getting more and more anxious to see what this thing's doing. As you're set up and you're in a defensive stance and you step forward and made a call out to him, I want you to roll a charisma check and tell me how powerful your words were when you said, "Come to me, you big bastard."
$22.
22. Okay, hold on. Right before that, Oma, I am so sorry. Do what Mina's doing. I forgot and I passed up your damn bird you summoned out. You should have yelled at me. So with that, Mina's, when she summons out these, when she lets these things spirit walk and enter our realm, and these are ancestors of hers that she is summoning out into a totem animal form, and Mina takes on the form of a flaming eagle, okay, which is the name of my Brock band, the Flaming Eagles. I'm so going to use that. What is it? And you have her stats there. You know her shit. Remember, you have 18 spirit points that you can use for her. That is your spiritual power that she possesses. So what is it you would like to do here? Alex is like, I'm not used to all this attention. I've been just watching people do shit for 2 episodes now. Hey, Alex.
Yes.
No pressure.
Okay.
Even the battle music is calming down, giving you a chance to kind of think your shit over.
I'm trying to think if casting gust of wind would at the bugbear approaching would mess with the dock or not.
Oh, just try something you can only learn from experience. And you know that you're looking at her abilities and the spells she can cast and shit, right? And then you know she has that one pretty strong special ability, but when she does that, that pretty much is the end of her, and she goes away. So, and also she can just fly in there and she can just attack things regularly. You have all the stats right there in that little block. Yeah. You are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40. You're about 50 foot away from the creature.
Let's see. Yeah, I'd like to go ahead and cast Gust of Wind.
Okay, awesome. Tell me what it does and what effect you're wanting it to have here.
Okay. Loading now. Let's see. A line of strong wind, 60 feet long and 10 feet wide, blasts from you in a direction you choose for the spell's duration.
Okay.
Each creature that starts its turn in the line must succeed on a strength saving throw or be pushed 15 feet away from you in a direction following the line. Any creature in the line must spend 2 feet of movement for every 1 foot it moves when moving closer to you.
That's awesome. So you've created this really hard walk for this thing to take coming to Dayhon. And I'm going to say as soon as he jumped and started walking towards you, that you blasted him with this, okay? I'm going to say it was a little bit delayed reaction because what we did. Okay? So the strength saving throw that it has to take is versus the DC that you create for it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So now we're going to do your spell save DC. We're going to fill out something else in your character sheet, okay? So the other little scroll down there,
yeah.
What you want to put in that is you've got 3 for your proficiency bonus, and you have 5 for your wisdom, okay? And then you want to look on your skills and feats sheet and see if there's something there that talks about potent spell or something that raises the DC of your magic.
4 in potent spell.
Okay, read me the description real quick out from it.
+1 to DC of spells from one school of magic per.
You have 4 on that?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, you do. Okay, so that's a 12. So you want to fill in a 12 there in that scroll. So the DC that you had that this thing has to beat versus the strength of your wind is 1d20 plus 12.
Yeah.
Do that and roll high, and let's see what happens here.
Okay. Hold off. Okay. 17.
You roll a 5. All right, hold on. Let's see how we did here. But this is a strong creature. You beat him.
Yay!
Yes. So here's what I'm going to do for you. And just keep these things in mind moving forward, because I know you're kind of learning. But the dynamic of this works is, if not, it's knocked back 15 foot. Okay? So he jumped down a level over the railing and landed here and was headed towards Dayhon. And you decided, you're like, I'm not going to make that easy. So you're halving his movement by making this wind tunnel in here, and you keep concentration on it. And you blasted him. That first blast, he failed the saving throw against that. It's going to knock him backwards into this solid wall, 5 foot. Okay, because that's part of 15. Now, it would have had 10 more foot to go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to give you some damage here to him, and I would like you to roll me. Let's go ahead. If it would have pushed him 15 foot, it's usually 1d6 per every 10. So roll me 1d6 plus 5, which is your wisdom modifier.
10.
Nice. You're going to do 10 points of bludgeoning damage to this bugbear as you're making him feel the effects. As you do this, and this wind gushes up through this way, he goes backwards and slams into this. His eyes go dim for just a minute. He rolled really well. He's not stunned from the effect, and he's still on his feet. You can see the fur and stuff blowing back against his face as if the G-forces are becoming too strong for him. There's a potent gale of wind going this direction. Let's see, just for the hell of it, let me do something real quick here. Why not? Why not? Let's just do this. Okay, so let's do. I'm just doing this for the literal hell of it. Do that. Here's the there.
Oh,
Talk to me. What's up?
So the gust disperses gas or vapor and extinguishes candles, torches, and similar unprotected flames in the area. So would that extinguish his flaming sword?
I'll tell you what we'll do. Now it's magical, so it's lit up. So I'm going to give it advantage versus that. But I will roll and see using your DC that you rolled. So you rolled what, a 17?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to roll for the actual item, and let me come up with some numbers here real quick as to how I want to do this. You lucky. So with a 6, that's with bonuses. I rolled a 2. I'm going to say that this flame dims and is extinguished.
Ooh, nice.
Okay, one effect at a time here, you speedster. Hold on. All right, so let's do just the wind real quick. Okay, I've got an idea how I want this to look. Just 1 second. Let me do the texture. Let's do some texture. Yeah. Okay. So, and then my brush size is large density. Okay, so from you to the creature, just kind of messing around here. Oh yeah. That's pretty cool. I mean, it's not perfect, but it'll work, right?
Yeah.
There's your gust of wind that's going up here and crashing against him. We're going to call that good. I like that. That's cool. All right, and now let's go ahead and go to him. And let's close that for now. Bugbear's here, and we're going to say that flame is extinguished. So I'm going to do this. There's the bugbear. Okay. And if I want to come back, I can just, yeah, that's how you do that right there. See what I did there, Danny? That works. Best I can do, but it works. It solves this problem. All right, so with that, this awesome looking gust of wind comes from your creature. You have concentration on it, and you blast it back, and you were able to dampen the fire on its blade and push it back away from Danny. Very, very well done, Oma. That was good. That was super good. Okay, with that, let's go ahead and move over to whose turn was it then? It was going to be the big bad guys. Well, you've changed his shit a little bit, haven't you? All right. On his turn now, he's pushed back against here, and he sees that his blade has went out. One of his hounds is stunned. He is going to let out a yell, and when he does, he's shouting a command at this wolf over here. Okay? So when this happens, and Sean, your character notices this, the ears perk up on this wolfen hound that's beside you. What was the DC of your stunning strike again? It was pretty high.
Was 19, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Still not able to overcome it, but you could see just from the call of this Beastmaster Bugbear, it got an extra shot out of turn. It's almost like a rallying cry he's doing to this thing. It wasn't able to do it. But the trained wolf over here has something different in mind. Okay, just a minute. Okay. Almost there, guys. Sorry about this. Okay. Sure. What? Oh, I see what's going on. I see what's going on. Okay. I know what to do then. I got this. In just a minute. I got to do this. 15 marker. Bang. 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 Move. Underneath of the creature. Let's go ahead and get you back up here, my friend. Let's go ahead and do the layer 15 underneath here. Okay, almost done, and then we'll be ready to rock and roll and move forward, okay? That will suffice for what I'm trying to accomplish here. Okay. Okay. All right. It has put this wolf into some kind of berserker's frenzy. This chant that he has yelled out to this creature above the wind and things of that nature. As he does, this creature automatically takes its action right now and goes. As it does, it runs down onto the bow of this ship. 5, 10, 15, 25, 30. Okay, it has used all of its movement. Okay, and as it stands right here, it is going to, that's 40. I'm going to say he is doing a charging attack. It is going to jump from here and it is going to come at Danny. All right, and I'm going to put it on the other side of you, Dayhon. There we go. And it is going to try to do a charge attack at you as it is ran for almost 40 foot straight at you. It only gets one bonus action attack at you, which is a charge attack.
It sucks, man. He actually gets advantage because he's flanking me since I'm occupied with that one coming at me.
No, no, you're not. You're not flanked. You dipshit.
I was hoping
I know
I
what
was.
you're up to. I know what you're up to. Danny has a move he can do, or if he gets flanked, he can do it. Nice try, buddy.
Darn. Almost got away with it.
Ooh, ooh. 24.
24 hits but does not breach.
Okay. So, as it comes at you and bites onto you, it has bonuses to damage because of how far it's went. "17 points of piercing damage. And I need you to roll a contested strength saving throw against the creature to see if it topples you prone."
How much? Never mind. My armor takes 17. I got it. Well, contested strength. I'm in Gaia's mantle, so I am a large creature to begin with at this point.
Yeah, you are. You suck.
Also, I don't take attacks. What I do is I attack in response. So I'm going to make a contested strength attack but I'm going to attempt to grapple this thing, like catch it.
Okay.
15 plus 8.
You win. You got him. Okay, so what are you doing? You've grappled this creature, and just for people watching and for Sean, when Danny went into the stance and baited this thing to come at him, he is in a stance where he cannot make offensive moves unless someone comes at him. So he can use all of his attacks per round as counters. And with being a grappling martial artist to a degree, he can take things and snap bones and put on joints and do throws. And so this thing came to him, not trying to play his hand at all. It's just the way this is unfolding. And now he is going to do something, I hope, to this large, hungry-ass wolf.
Actually, I messed that up a little bit. For a grapple, that would have been 15 plus 17 when he uses, because he's got a lot more bonuses in grapple.
Danny, so did you just say you screwed up because you actually had a higher number?
Yeah, well, I need that because I got to beat him by
Why would
con
you twist the knife
of 5.
on your DM like that? I told you, you got it. I think you're just trying to hurt my damn feelings, and I got to tell you, I don't appreciate it.
So I would like to use a grappling technique number 3, the slam. Your character has learned how to slam opponents to the ground once
Is that
they
like
have
Mambo
been
number 5? Technique number 3.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
So
son.
I'm going to throw it in the direction that, or I'm sorry, I'm going to use throw, not slam. Number 2. I'm going to throw it to the left off the dock. I can throw it up to 10 foot plus an additional 5 foot for every 5 points I exceeded the opponent on the grappling roll.
Oh, God. Okay, you get an extra, you beat him by 8 on the grappling throw. Or on, well, do we do another competition now to see if he holds on to you with his bite?
Yep, that would be the grappling check here. Oh, that's 17 plus 18. 30.
You're a broken fool. 35, Danny. It's 35.
Yep.
I know the math. You just, whatever. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it matters or not, because I rolled a 3 plus, okay, so that's a 5. So you can throw him an extra 5 foot for every 5 you beat him on the grappling check. You pretty much just made a field goal with this wolf, you piece of shit. So, which direction are you slinging, old here, buddy?
Right off the end of the dock.
You would. So,
Ooh, saves me a stunning strike.
I was like, he's like, I'm meta in this shit. At least you saved me from having to. So as you do, this wolf comes at you, running and lunging, hair stood up on its back, just getting it across the deck. Comes down, you stick your arm up. It's like you took the bait, you son of a bitch. And as it bites onto your forearm, you actually do a shovel sweep and get underneath of it and get ready to throw it. Danny, paint me a picture.
I'd say Dayhon actually spins and gets a little bit of momentum and launches it like a discus thrower off the end of the dock.
Okay. With that, it goes sailing out this way off into the distance, and you hear the cry of the wolf in the distance as it slowly fades into nothing and disappears into the clouds below.
Dayhon steps back into a stance and looks at that guy and goes, "Bad dog."
Oh.
Wah, wah, wah. Okay, so, damn it. Okay, so next person to go was going to be that wolf, but he went ahead and took care of that shit, didn't he?
Hmm.
And now it's going to be okay, now we start our order again. Top of the round, it is Sade.
All right. Seeing that this wolf is still stunned, and it gets to, I am going to run up behind the big bugbear baddie.
Okay, yep, it doesn't get an attack of opportunity against you because it's stunned. Let's go ahead and move you. 5, 10, 15, 20. It is pinned because it failed its saving throw up against something. Its head is about where your feet would be on the planks. It's about 8 to 10 foot down from your level of the deck to its level of the deck that it's standing on. It is pushed up against it, and you are feeling the wind bellow up past you as it blows your hair up out of your face because it's hitting him, but then it's also traveling up, not as strong. But it's like sticking your head out a car window, buddy.
Yeah. Okay, and then I'm just going to start punching him in his head.
Okay, now you have to do that just to paint a picture. You would have to kick in between the railings. You're going to have to climb up on the actual railing and strike down at this creature.
Yeah. So actually, let me take a leaping attack from leaping strike. Yeah, let me do a leaping strike.
All right, now with gust of wind, Alex, and guys, I don't know how you game this, but do you control who that affects and who it doesn't in that area, or does it just hit everybody that you're throwing it at? What do you guys think about this?
I'd say most spells will have, you can choose to exclude people.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say read what the spell actually does.
Yeah, let me get the book real quick and see. Analog, I like it. Okay, gust of wind. Let's see what we got. Because if you could keep this from absolutely screwing him up, or her up, or whatever, that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Gust of wind. Almost to it. If you beat me to it, good for you.
No, it's each creature that starts its turn in the line.
Any creature in the line.
Yeah, any creature. Yeah.
It would affect you. So you're good to jump down into this and attack at this point. But after that, you're going to be in the line of this gust of wind.
That's fine.
So
my first strike is a leaping strike.
Okay, and you know what all that entails and what it gives you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so let me roll for an attack.
Now I'm going to do something here. I want you to note this, Sean. Now this thing is withheld and it is pushed back by the wind and failed its strength saving throw. I'm only giving it half of its bonuses to dodge and block you. So whatever its armor class primary is, you know, it's 10 plus that number. That number is halved now because it is reduced because of being held in this way. So this will be an easier target for you.
So for me, that is the first attack is a 23 to hit.
Okay, and were you just running up to it, or were you trying to be stealthy about this?
No, I'm just running up to it.
Okay, I need to roll perception to see if he even notices you're there.
Oh.
He does. He's able to see you as you're climbing up on that railing, getting ready to perch and come down at him. But with his reduced armor class primary, because of the situation, you have hit and breached this creature. So
Okay.
I want you to explain to me around the head area where you're actually hitting this, where it's not protected. And you do.
I'm trying to go for like the back of the neck, the underside of the skull.
Nice, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and do your attack.
So because it's the leaping attack will come down, and then but that's fine.
Okay.
So it's a total of 7 on the first hit.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna try and hit it again with the second spot. Just a regular punch, same spot, and then so I'm gonna attack again.
Okay.
With my second punch. That's a 15.
Roll to 15.
Yeah, roll that's a 15 to hit.
Okay. It's not able to move out of the way, and you hit it, but you did not find purchase, and you're hitting against that really heavy hide color around the neck. I need you to go ahead and roll damage to see if you're able to break through that with your attack.
Okay. So that's 6 damage.
You are not. It took all that, and you were not able to find purchase through its heavy color. But its armor.
Okay. And then I spend a key point to flurry of blows.
Okay, go ahead, and you've spent your key point. You've spent 2 today. Make sure you keep track of that.
Yep.
And go ahead, and you have 2 extra attacks right now.
So the first attack is a 29.
That breaches. After hitting that color one time, you're like, that doesn't fucking work. So you decided to go around it and hit it again. I'll say you got it there on the side of the head where its big beard is and shit. You just come around and freaking or clocking them or kicking it or whatever you want to do.
Yep. And then so that's 7 damage for that attack.
Okay.
And then the second one is the same thing, a 29 to hit.
That breaches as well.
And also 7 points and stunning strike.
Okay, roll your DC.
Yes. 24.
Damn you. He failed. So as you hit him in the head like that, that third time when you're just piling up these hits and you don't think they're enough to really take a creature this thick and big down, you feel somewhat ill-equipped. But with that last one, you hit right on the temple on the side of its head where it's bare, and you see the thing's eyes just kind of flank and look at you. You see some drool come out of its mouth, and it says, I get... And it falls, and the wind is the only thing holding its body up against the wall as you're standing on its shoulders as you've been doing this onto it, as the wind's blowing your hair up in your face. With that, what are you doing? You've used your bonus action and your action.
I'm going to probably use the rest of my movement to back up away from the creature.
Okay. How many feet would you like to back up?
It took me 20 feet to move up to him, right?
Yeah, and then I think
10 for the leaping attack.
30.
So just 15 feet back, the full 15 feet back.
Okay, that'll put you all the way against the building. It only took 10 or 15 to get there off his shoulders.
Yeah.
Okay, so you stand back. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah.
Okay, after that, Oma, it is your turn now. You have seen Shade come in, this odd character just seems to be coming in here to help people, and jumped down and landed on the back of this thing and seems to be working with you in trying to take it down, and has just pummeled the shit out of the back of its head, and has just pretty much knocked it inanimate up against the thing, and your wind is the only thing holding it up as its lips flap in the in the G forces of this wind coming from Mina. What are you doing?
Is the bugbear within 60 feet of me?
Yes.
Okay. I would like to cast Sacred Flame at it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your ranged spell attack. With advantage.
So, and that's adding the spell attack modifier, right?
Absolutely. Not the DC, but the spell attack modifier. And you got a pretty fucking good one, man.
29.
29! Yeah, hits it.
Huh.
That hits it and breaches it. So you're able to cast it on this thing. And I'm going to say you got into the arm of it and the underside of where its armor doesn't touch its side as it goes directly to the creature, wherever this owl that you sent out, this radiant energy owl that you sent out flying across here, purchase full damage to the creature, whatever you roll here. Hey, did you take the Empower or the Intensify spell feat, Alex?
Empower spell to 2 skill points.
Oh, I mean the feat. That's skill points.
Oh.
On your feat sheet, did you take an Intensify spell?
Oh, yeah, I did.
And what is that on?
I put 1 skill point in Intensify spell.
And do you know what spell it was used on to intensify?
No, not yet.
Okay, so remember, when you use the feat Intensify spell, you may put a bonus to all numerical components of that spell by half.
Ah.
So
Okay.
if you ever want to put that feat towards Sacred Flame, then whatever your dice rolls and your distance and all those kind of things are that it can do, those get a bonus of plus half.
Okay.
So you don't have to right now, but in the future, I would think about which one of your spells you would like to put that towards, so you can start, smacking some faces around. Just food for thought, okay? Go ahead and roll your damage for your Sacred Flame.
Alrighty. Oh, I got an 8.
Nice.
And,
2d8, right?
Yep, 2d8. So let's see, 8 and a 4, so 12.
Nicely done. 12 points of damage from your Sacred Flame as the owl swings through there and lands and finds purchase. It hits underneath the back of the arm of the creature where there's no armor. It grimaces across its face, still incoherent from being stunned previously. What are you doing at the rest of your turn there?
I would like to use my bonus action to cast Shield of Faith on Sade.
Awesome. And explain to Sade what that looks like and what bonuses that she gets from that.
Alrighty. It is a shimmering field appears and surrounds a creature of your choice within range, granting it a +2 bonus to AC for the duration, and the duration is concentration up to 10 minutes.
Okay, so this is going to go on to your armor class primary. It'll go up by 2 if you're surrounded by a field that makes you harder to hit by 2. And I'm going to do that real quick for you here, okay?
Okay.
Just a minute. Marker. And what color would you like this aura to be that protects?
Black.
No, right. What are you thinking, Alex?
Let's see. Shield of Faith.
It could be a radiant flame, or you could have it be a mystic kind of blue. It could be a green, whatever you would like to do. What are you thinking?
How about a yellow?
We can do yellow. We can do yellow all day.
Okay.
I am. Okay. And let's go ahead and move that around. Okay. Almost done. Okay, that pretty much serves the purpose. And I'm gonna bring them back together, and there you go. Okay, so that represents you have a shield of faith surrounding your character, Sean. And with that, is that the end of your turn, Oma?
Yep.
Okay. Now you don't have to keep concentration on that because you're good shape, correct? It just casts and you're done with it.
Shield of Faith does take concentration up to 10 minutes.
Okay, so you have to concentrate on that. That's fine. Because the bird is concentrating on the gust of wind, not you. That is fantastic. If that is the end of your turn, I will have you go ahead and focus on your bird. Remember, it is holding concentration on this spell.
Right.
So it cannot do another concentration spell, but it can cast another spell. Or it can fly in an attack, or it can sit there and do loop-de-loops and have people go ooh and ah like SeaWorld with the dolphins. Whatever you would like to do.
I would like to cast Scorching Ray.
Yes, you would. So the creature is going to cast Scorching Ray at which one? You want to cast it at Danny since it seems unfair?
No.
No? All right. Fine.
At the bugbear.
Absolutely. Okay, go ahead, and you know what the rolls are for that, correct? I think it uses your spell ranged attack, does it not?
Oh.
It should say there when you look at the stats of the creature or the summon.
Make a ranged spell attack for each ray. On a hit, the target takes 2d6 fire damage.
Okay, well, and can you cast it at higher levels?
If you cast it in a spell slot of 3rd level or higher, you create 1 additional ray for each slot level above 2nd.
Okay, so you can cast that through her at a higher level. You know, you can't surpass the highest level spell that you can cast, but I think you can go all the way up to 5th, can't you? What's the highest level spell you can cast right now, Oma?
I think 4th level, the highest I can cast.
So if it's doing 2d6 rays at level 2, you could cast that through this creature at level 4 and do 4 rays going through it at 2d6 each, correct? If I'm reading that, if I'm hearing that right. I'll double check.
I can do that.
DM says kick it in the ass. I will allow that. And does it say on the creature at all, under the explanation of Mina, does it say what her ranged spell attack bonus is, or does it say just to simply use yours?
I don't see that it says specifically.
Okay, we're going to use yours because it's a conduit through you. So go ahead and make your ranged spell attack, and you're doing you want to cast this at 2nd base level, 3rd level, or 4th level, whichever one. Remember, a 4th level spell takes 1, 3, 5, 7, 10. It takes 10 magic points.
Right.
You had 18 to begin with. You did Gust of Wind. So
I'm down to 13. I'd like to go ahead and cast it at the 4th level.
Okay, go ahead.
But,
That means you'll be doing 4 ranged spell attacks with this.
okay.
That was too good. Good night. I ate a lot of it. Love you. I'll talk to you in the morning. Good night. Okay. Tell me what each one of those are.
Wait, I roll a d20 for each of the 4.
Yes, and then you add your ranged spell attack bonus to each one of those, which is what, 12? That'd be the second scroll underneath where you're that rectangle in the middle of your seat, far scroll to the right.
Right, that'd be 11.
11, okay. So each one of these D20 rolls, you add 11. Tell me what you get. You roll it 4 times here.
Alrighty. First one, I got 14 total.
Woo! Swing and a miss. The first bunch of this fiery blast that comes from this thing seems to catch onto the wind that's being gust from it at the same time. It raises it up, goes too far past it, and smacks off of the railing beside it. Next one.
The next one is a total of 30.
Okay, did you roll a... Oh, you rolled a 19.
Yeah.
That's damage and a half. So let's go ahead and roll damage for that one. Now, 19
Okay.
you damage and a half. Go ahead and roll your 2d6.
So a total of 5.
Okay, and plus half of that, we're going to go ahead and just give you 3 because I'm being nice. It's going to be minus 8. Okay, and then roll for your third attack. You hear the sound she made when she got her first over 30? It's pretty nice, buddy.
15.
15. You got so excited that last one hit that the bird completely flubbed this one. You're like, Mina, get your head in the game. Third one misses, and then throw your fourth scorching ray at the creature.
Okay. Ooh, better.
Nice.
27.
Hell yes. Go ahead and roll your damage, 2d6.
Alrighty. Total of 6.
Okay. The creature looks rough, and the wind that is hitting on it and the cold outside is keeping it from catching on flame from these hits as it extinguishes it pretty quick, but it is burned up. You smell burnt hair, Shade, rising up through the wind that's blowing up in the distance. Danny, you're seeing that Mina, the bird that she has summoned out, is just flinging just scorching rays left and right, flapping her wings as they're flying out at this creature. You got to be loving every minute of it, sir. With that, does Mina move anywhere or do anything in particular here?
Nope, I think she just hold the ground.
All right. With that, that will be the end of its turn, and the next person to go is going to be, let me see, I got 1, 2, 3, which is going to be this wolf up here. Okay. Need to do a saving throw to see if this wolf wakes up. Or no, it's always stunned until the end of its next turn, or if I make this.
Yeah.
Okay. But I still get the saving throw at the beginning of my turn to see if I stamp out, correct?
Right.
Did not. Dog is nighty-night. Total was 6. Still out, still belly pumping up and down. I did that with advantage because he tried to put the red boost on to berserk this creature, but it still is not enough to get it to overcome the stunning strike that you put on it earlier. That is going to be end of the wolf's turn. Okay. Number 4 is going to be Horus. Now, I believe he automatically comes out of the stun. Correct, Sean?
Um,
Or you just
Not
did
him.
to him last turn?
Yeah.
Just did last time.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm rolling a check. And I think your DC was, you happen to remember?
It was for him. It was a
21 or
20.
22 or something.
I think it was a 24.
It was high.
Yeah.
No, man, I'm rolling shit on my metal dice tonight. He is still stunned and under the effects of that stunning strike. Very well done. And his turn is going to be over. Okay, and now it is going to be Dayhon's turn. Dayhon, I would like you to roll a perception check for me.
14.
Nope. All right, go ahead.
All right. I just rolled. I spent 10 mana points. He's coming out of his previous stance. As he steps forward, he stomps his foot, smoke rolling from his nose, and he takes off in the behemoth's charge. And I believe there's about 50 foot of space there, if I counted right.
I'm going to do something for you because you did that. Okay? As he starts to run down here, Sade, you are seeing him take on the characteristics of this legendary creature, and he's leaving hoof marks, and the boards are rocking as he's coming. And the way he's holding his arms as he's charging at this creature, they almost appear as if he's morphing his body, almost like if you've seen martial arts movies, person does the praying mantis, you do the tiger claw. He's using his arms and holding them as he's charging, as if he's getting ready to upheave this thing, as if the horns of the front of a large behemoth. And you can see that image kind of flash into existence around him, as you see here, with the small bits of debris and stuff floating and gliding around him as he is controlling the power of Earth. It is something you've never seen a person do before, Sade. Think of it what you will. With that, Danny, there is a wind tunnel pushing you with extreme force, having you charge with enhanced speed. I am going to give you re-rolls on your damage from this charge attack. So your damage rolls are going to have advantage as you do this. Because, I mean, sincerely, you are running straight down a wind tunnel towards a creature that is stunned at the time being. I'm going to count up your movement here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, roughly 50 foot. You beastly son of a bitch.
It gives me a +5 to hit.
Oh, I know, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. As you're charging down through here, hey, you're caught up in the wind, and you just feel like you got Air Jordans on. And Michael Jordan spirits with you, man. You're just do it, Danny. Just do it. As you get up here, you rock into this creature. Let me make this proper here. Okay. Wow. What? Wow. All right. Lots of things going on there. Go ahead and roll your attack with advantage against the creature because it is stunned. Now, Sean, is it if a person is stunned, all attacks have advantage, or are all attacks critical?
I want to say they have advantage. Let me just double check that.
Okay. Thank you, buddy.
Man, I really hope so, because I rolled a 15 on one and a 20 on the other.
I think it's just
so stun status. A stunned creature is incapacitated, can't move, and can speak only falteringly. Automatically fails strength and dexterity saving throws. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage.
okay, just advantage.
Mm-hmm.
So you rolled a natural 20.
Yeah. That would be a whopping 31, 30, 36 to hit.
Okay, that
Total.
reaches, and I want you have the ability to do an epic action here, Danny. Because you rolled a 20, running with a charge, with the wind at your back against a stunned foe, there are enough variables in your favor here where I will let you do this as an epic action. Okay?
I would like to say that the creature and him actually merge, and he becomes the behemoth for a moment.
Okay, this becomes, and let me explain to Sean, this becomes fatal damage. Or what's the name that we put towards it? Lethal. Mortal damage. Okay, so what happens is regular damage that a person gets is called lethal. That comes off your hit points. When you do a mortal damaging blow, it cannot be healed on the same day that it is inflicted. It is the kind of stuff that we have added into the game to give it the drama that things take. For instance, real quick, if someone's holding a dagger to someone's throat, and they're saying, "You guys back off or I'm going to kill her." Okay? In the D&D world, people don't really give a damn about that. Because if they cut the throat, well, you've got someone there to heal it. And so there's a lot of awesome dynamics that are lost in the game. But you start putting in mortal damage, that is unhealable in the same long rest period that it happens. And because he's done so many things like that, I, the DM, am granting him mortal damage on this attack. It's one of the little fun things that we do. Go ahead, Danny, you piece of shit.
All right, so it's 2d6 plus 1d6 for every 10 foot, gave him a total of 7d6.
Yeah.
37, which totals to 74.
Yeah, it's double.
Plus 5,
Nice.
79 points of damage.
It's just 79?
Yeah, just 79.
Oh, okay. Paint me a picture.
I don't even have words for how much stuff happened this time.
So when I say paint me a picture, Sean, that's my way of saying describe me how you end the thing. So when I tell you to paint me a picture, that's a good thing. So go ahead, Danny. As this happens, Shade, you're looking down, Alex, you're looking across, and he just pretty much takes this and runs straight down the wind tunnel. Danny, describe it, buddy. Have a field day.
As he's coming down, his feet seem to be becoming more and more hoof-like, and as he bends down, that image around him solidifies, and it's almost like the behemoth struck through him this time instead of him striking like it.
Oh, nice. Okay.
When his hands punch through the thing's chest, and he actually heaves it up onto the next level when he heaves, and it leaves 2 marks the size of his fist, just like straight through it, just like it had been behemoth's horns that had penetrated its chest. And then he stands there panting like an animal that just did a charge like that, kind of like the bull when he's looking for the bullfighter.
That's awesome, dude. Okay, with that, the bugbear slumps over. You literally pass those things through its rib cage. You feel it break pretty much in half internally as it coughs out a spat of nasty, darkish blood, and the eyes damn near pop out on one side of it. It lets out a deathly gasp of its last breath, and it slumps over as the wind seems to die down from Oma's creature. And the bugbear seems to take its last breath as it sits there and looks down at the ground, slumped over in front of you.
Dayhon looks across his body to find a token he can take off of him, something to add to his necklace.
Okay, let me turn this back up and we'll look and see if there is one. Absolutely. You would see several different things on the body of this creature. It has so many different tokens and things that adorn what it has on it, and you see something that you think might be symbolic. You see several very long bear claws that are hanging along the big long rope that is around its neck. You can see that rope around its neck it uses to hang creatures that it has hung sometime in the forest where it hunts. And I want you to roll an investigation check for me.
16 plus intelligence, 18.
Okay. You would see that it has some kind of large sword there that is just crackling with embers, that is not lit now, but looks like to be some large maul-like sword. It almost looks like the top of a maul halberd with a handle put to it. Barbarically made, seems to have the essence of fire glowing within it. And you would also see 3 braids of dark hair. One is amber, and you want to write this down. One tuft is long braid is amber, one is black, and the other one is brown. And as you look at these things and you see the clasp that holds the braid together on the far end, and these things have been dipped in candle wax to keep them from unraveling, these are the braids off of dwarven warriors that it has cut free and kept as trophies. You have those things you can select from the body of that creature.
He'll take those bear claws, but he'll take those braids off as well to give those to Dantes. And then he looks up to Shade and he says, "You want a bigger pig sticker?"
As he's holding up this blade that looks like you couldn't hardly pick it up with 2 hands if you wanted to, Shade. And he's kind of holding that up to you with one large warrior arm, Polynesian arm, and looking at you and saying this. What are you doing?
I look at him and say, "You need to react faster."
Nicely done. With that, Oma, are you letting Mina run free, or are you summoning her back to you and asking her to go back into the spirit world?
I'm going to have her go back into the spirit world.
Okay. As she flies back over to your side, you guys, do you have anything you want to ask her real quick before she goes, or are you just telling her that, you've served your purpose and I will see you again in the future, something of that nature?
Thank you for your help.
Okay.
And
That's all good. That's plenty. I just want to make sure I was giving you a chance to add whatever dialogue you wanted to, okay?
Sure.
Okay, with that, Mina goes back into the fray, wherever the spirit realm and world is with you. And with that, I will go ahead and stop the share screen. Okay, so with that, Sade are standing and walk forward, and you are above his character, as now the beast mantle that he has of this behemoth seems to fade back into his body, and you would see as you would look at that tattoo on his arm, you would see that the earthen, the greens, golds, and browns seem to fade back into the ink as it pulses, almost like it was on some kind of mystical earth-infused fire for a moment, and stays on his arm as you two meet eyes, you looking down at him looking 10 foot up at you. You are still over there on the ship far away, and Danny, you realize that Oma had your back. You didn't even know she was out here. You didn't even know she was around. You thought you slipped out quietly when you tried to close the doors on the ship, but she was there. She came out there to make sure you, and that's a comforting thought to you as you look over to the distance, maybe trying to find where she is. I will let you guys go ahead and talk me through this. We'll start with Danny. You've said this, and you might want a bigger pig sticker. You said you need to react faster. Oma, what are you doing at this current moment? You're several ships over. You could shout out, and they could hear you if you wanted to. Or you could, whatever you want to do. Or you might be confident of what you've done and just go back to bed. It's whatever you want to do.
I do want to go ahead and say, well, okay, good night, and then head on back to bed.
Okay, in typical Oma fashion, she says that, and you hear her polite and well-mannered speaking words, and as she has that frail kind of native language, tells you, well, yeah, good night. Hey, as she normally does, and she makes her way back down into her room, modest as always, like Silent Bob when she says something, it's worth listening to. So
Sade looks over into her direction and it's like, I like her modesty.
you hear this come from the being that's standing above you now. So with that, the two of you have locked eyes. And now that you can see that this person, and did you give him your name yet still or not?
No, haven't.
I didn't think. So this shape changer, the best that you can, is it demise or devise? Or devise. The best you can devise. It didn't go as far away as you thought that she might have. And for a long time, Danny, people have your back. Even people that just met you. You know what I mean? Oma was there. You thought this thing just went up and walked away from you. She was there. Maybe not everything's got to rest on your shoulders all the time. I just want to throw that as it crosses your mind. What is it that you're saying at this point? Obviously, the pig sticker, and obviously you were being sarcastic at this finessing being would not want to carry something of that nature.
He smiles and he grabs that thing up and he looks at him up and he says, this is what happened when they come up here to Overwatch. Let's make a sign out of him. Starts dragging him towards the crow's nest.
Okay, what are you doing, Sean?
As Sade's gonna watch him walk back, and she goes, "Oh, by the way, I failed to introduce myself. I am Sade, and like I said, I'm here to help."
He drops the body that he's dragging and holds his hand out. He would tilt it a little funny, and you'd realize that he intends to grasp you all the way up to the elbow.
They have that very Celtic kind of handshake. You'd be familiar with this to some degree, as a lot of people that travel in and out of the ships do this. His hands are large. He's a big mammal.
Sade shifts her hand to kind of match the size of his and gives him a handshake as well.
Okay. Now, I want to ask you something just for flavor. When you shift, I've never heard anything about you being able to change different parts of you. Is it all of you or none of you?
I can change different parts of me. I can just focus on my face, or I can shift different parts of me if I wanted to. I can't grow an extra limb or something, but I can change my skin color. I can change if I have hair or not.
You just have to be a medium creature. I think you can grow extra limbs if you completely commit to a creature that has several that's a medium, like a thri-kreen or something like that. Yeah. So, but
I can shift into it. I can look like any creature that I have seen, that as long as I have the same amount of limbs from.
Okay. So with that, Danny, what's your reaction to that? She just pop-eyed out on your ass. Big old forearms.
He would grip and say, not everything is as it seems.
Interestingly enough, Danny, when you do grip the hand, you still feel that it is not nearly as strong as the hand appears to be, as you would naturally want to grip it strongly because it's a large hand at this point. And you realize this is just a change effect. This is not an actual, you notice that. And you go to shake for just a minute. Roll me. Yeah, you would feel that a little bit, and you might see her wince just a touch as you're getting ready to give this large hand a, well, hell yeah, buddy. And there's
he said, so you take on images where I take on characteristics.
I like to view it more as I show people who they really are.
I can't wait for you to meet the slippery one.
Me neither.
Speaking, of course, of Bastille, Alex. So yeah. Okay.
You play cards.
Go ahead. What, Danny?
You play cards.
I'm more of a chess guy, but I can learn.
He starts giggling, thinking about Dantas. He would chuckle.
Okay. All right. With that,
What is it you would? What help do you seek from me? What is it you need? It appears
I would
I'm in debt.
require your and your crew's help in gathering information, evidence as to who's behind these recent string of murders in New Gemdar. I have my suspicions on who it might be, and so does my captain. I just need to confirm or deny them. But that can be sorted out later. Let's finish this sign you're talking about.
You gonna be okay being seen with me at the crow's nest? Well,
It's fine.
you're with me.
And I say, it's fine. And then I change myself to appear like one of the barmaids.
oh, this is interesting. Hold on. You change yourself into people that you have seen before.
Yeah,
So
I've seen before.
roll. You know what I'm talking about here, don't you, Sean?
Yeah.
Are you going to do that? Because you don't know their connection. You don't know that. I'm just going to say it.
All I'm saying is that after watching, I've noticed that somebody looking like the barmaid's going out, so it would be the least suspicious if I look like one of the other barmaids walking in.
Okay. You see Roselia standing in front of you, Danny.
Mhm.
You see Roselia. Spitting image. This one looks a little bit more sinister than her. Has a different kind of look because you know what this being is capable of. But literally has turned herself into the image of Roselia from before, and you can't help but think whatever it is you're thinking. I mean, it's something else. That's someone we had talked about outside of game about who that was and things of that nature. And she has definitely been there and had dealings with this barmaid. So yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, Roselia.
Yeah.
Let's go see if Trevadel will let us hang something from the rafters.
Okay.
Sure.
Interesting. Sean, roll a performance check, charisma.
Not my strong suit. It's a 9.
Okay. She tries and gets kind of course, the voice is there because she's changed into her.
Mhm.
But the sway and the swagger of her voice is kind of there, but it's not great. If someone really, really knew Roselia and was talking to Sade, they would probably be able to tell a difference, but it'd have to be someone that knew her pretty well. So that's when he answers like that, you see that, you hear that little difference, but you're still getting a kick out of this whole freaking thing. Okay?
He grabs
So,
that thing by the scruff and starts dragging it through the snow.
okay, and with that, as you two make off to make a sign in the snow, we'll go ahead and call it a night on this part, and we'll take up with that the next time we play, and probably go into the crypts and deal with that thing of Ron next time he gets to join as well. So, and like I say, I'll end the video, then we'll hang out and talk for just a minute. So it's not actually goodbye, it's goodbye for all these people. Okay.
Okay.
So, like I say, once again, thanks for watching if you are. This was a really good one. I like this. You guys handled that really well. Oma, very clutch stuff with the gust of wind. Isn't it neat how well that worked out? And then Danny using that to charge up through there. Excellent, excellent shit. Sean, I hope you enjoyed yourself. It's that was a good one. That was a good introduction of your character into all this. So
I had fun. It was great.
Awesome, man. Okay, and with that, we'll say later, and we will probably do this again either on Wednesday or Sunday. So that's it for episode 11. Take care.